Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. We have a great show for you today. We will be doing a lot of building. And these are really, really cool agents. They live inside your database, and it's a cool way to build agents. So I'm excited to explore this with Alex today and you all.
And we already have 100 people in the call.
Awesome.
Many
We
people
got,
curious to discover the new superpowers of software. And it's definitely, yeah, you will see definitely a big change. It's gonna
yeah,
change. Because there's a lot of implications for those of us who are building software apps. There's a lot of implications for what you can also allow users to do now. Now that we will have agents in the database that can do a lot of heavy lifting for us.
yeah, it goes beyond just building software apps. It's now at the point with just databases, just managing your data and having an agent within your database, finding, fetching, summarizing, extracting, translating that data for you, keeping your data and your data hygiene in a better spot, which then you can then use to power your additional automations and interfaces and everything else. And with data being so important as it is today, it's really cool to have these helpers inside your database helping to make sure that the data is clean.
Hey, Claudia, good to see you. I thought you had a meeting and you couldn't join, but you managed to come over. Not missing, I think Claudia is not missing a single software webinar that we do.
Oh, thank you, Claudia. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they're very cool. A couple more people. It's all for us. Maybe it's time to start slowly. I'll be moderating also the chat, so keep an eye on the chat.
Cool.
Questions, and I'll be admitting more more people or some like joiners. So welcome everyone. Just to make sure that we are recording. We are recording, so this is perfect. So welcome everyone to this live session. Today I'm joined with JJ Angler from Softr. And today we are going to once again talk about Softr, which is a tool we love at 9x because it is one of the simplest way to build applications. And contrary to web coding, also applications that are secure. That your data is safe there, and also really a product that we love. That comes originally from the no-code space, but that is also slowly moving towards becoming an AI platform. And today we are going to discuss and to show you one of, for me, the most exciting feature released this year by Softr, which are AI agents in software databases. Before we start, maybe would be nice to see in the chat, like, who of you is already using Softr? Who's building in Softr? Who is seeing Softr for the first time? Let us know in the chat. Building. I have a first timer. Hi, Jason.
Wow, nice.
Building. Not the partner. So Florian is the
Hey,
master.
Florian. Good to see
Yeah.
you.
First timer already building. All right.
Kick
The good
ass.
news is if you have never built in Softr, the good news is it's so easy that by the end of the session you should
It's
already.
gonna look very familiar to a lot of you, and I think you'll see why soon. Um, yeah, let's just get started with introductions, Alex. That sounds good with you.
Yeah. Very good.
Cool. So I'm JJ. I am leading community and education here at Softr, but I've just been building in this space for like the last 4 or 5 years. Me and Alex together, we've kind of come through this space and had trying everything and just trying to stay up with the latest. And I'm excited to be here with you all and Alex today as we kind of showcase what Alex was saying is a really impressive feature, not just for Softr, but generally for this landscape. And it adds a lot of potential. So I'm super excited to be here with you all. And then, yeah, Alex.
My name is Alex. I run 9x, which is an AI training company. Among others, we organize webinars like this one, where we show you what you can do with AI, not just in chat, but also in solutions like Softr. And yeah, very excited to be here. Softr is one of the platforms we use internally at 9x. So whenever we show you a tool, we don't. This is not paid marketing. This is really. We are happy to have Softr anytime they launch a new amazing feature, because we push only tools that we think have great functionality and that hopefully you may want to use afterwards. So looking forward to the webinar.
Cool. Awesome. So we are going to build 4 different things today. We're going to be working with customer support use cases, data extraction out of files use cases, translation use cases, lead enrichment use cases, the gamut of really trying to use these agents in many different ways. Be very interactive. If you have questions, put them in chat, and we'll explore and build this together. The first thing that we want to show you today is customer support. So let's imagine that you have a customer support queue, and all those tickets are being saved somewhere, right, into a database, right? And what we want to do with these tickets is a couple of things. Once a ticket comes in, we want to detect what language it's in, right? And if the language is not in English, we would just want to translate it to English to standardize it. And then from there, we want to detect the sentiment of the customer support ticket. Are they happy? Are they mad? This will allow us to do a lot of things in terms of like reporting and analytics, to see, the total support tickets coming in, how happy people are, etc. And then we'll also have AI help us find a ticket priority. Like how important is this ticket? And then based on that ticket priority, we could then put it up our queue in proper ways, right? So I'm going to pull up our database and we're just going to start building at it. Along the way, if you have any ideas that you want to put in chat of like, hey, could we do this or whatever, feel free to do that. We're here to build this with you. So let me pull up our customer support. And right now we see that we have some tickets here. And you guys can see my screen. It's off the database. Does that look good? Cool.
Yeah.
So a quick overview for those that haven't seen Softr databases yet. So Softr, it started off as an interface builder. And then, I don't know, 3 to 4 or 5 months ago, we launched our Softr databases product, which allows you to work with Softr interfaces with the database product, or you could just use Softr database as a standalone product. It's very similar to Airtable if you haven't seen already. We keep it easy to use in that way, but we built it for scale. What I mean by that is we built it to be a scalable database. If you want to expose the API of this database, or if you want to pull this database into NAN, Make, or Zapier, we have integrations all into those platforms. And the API limits are like 3 to 4x that of the other providers. So our API limits are really, really high. If you want to use this kind of database for programmatic building, it's really good to use it. And then also, if you just want to use it to build, look how easy it is. Like it's very familiar in a lot of ways, and I think the best ways, right? And so if we want to go add a new field here, we see right away we have our AI agent field there, but we have all the other familiar field types here. And there's a lot that you could do here. And so we're in our database here, and I see that I have customer name, customer message, and status coming in, right? And so right away, I want to detect if this message right here is English or not. So let's build our first agent to do that. Very simple one. AI agent, and we're going to call this language. And we're having an AI agent here, and we could choose which model we want to use. Now, because this is a demo and things break on a demo, I'm just going to do a really powerful one just so it doesn't. But you could choose, and usually you don't need anything too fancy here. We have all the latest models, including Sonnet 4.5, etc. And so we can, right here, just enter our prompt. All right. And so in this case, I'm going to say using the field, and then I'm going to do a variable. And the variable is going to allow me to reference a field in the row here, right? So customer message. You can also add a variable just by clicking this. So using this field, please detect which language it is in and report it back here. Example equals English, right? And so I could use AI here to improve my prompt if I want. It's going to show me kind of a better prompt here. I'll accept it. I'll bring that in. That's cool. I can turn on web search. Raise your hand if you don't know what web search is. I think
I have
everyone.
a couple of beginners here, so I guess it's an important setting depending on your use case. Yeah, a couple of people raised hands, so we need to explain.
Cool. Yeah, so what web search is normally when using LLMs, it's cached data, right? It's not live on the web. And so by allowing web search, that allows your LLM to like actually go search on the web in addition to its own data to make sure that the data you're finding is very relevant. Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you. It's very relevant, right? And so by having web search, it's not needed in this use case, but like another use case could be lead extraction, and you want to find that user's LinkedIn profile URL. That's where web search could really work, right? So we don't need web search here, but what we could do is we could change when we want this to run. So we have a lot of control over when this is actually running, which is really important because this is a database. It's kind of running in the background, and you want to make sure it's running only when you want it to run, right? So you could trigger this manually. You could trigger this when a new record is created, which is what we want to do. Or you could choose to only do this when any record is updated, right? And I think in our case, we could have it kind of, I think we could just turn it off. Just when a new record is created, that should be fine. We also have the ability to have conditional filters here. So I could add a condition and saying, hey, I only want this to run maybe when the status is not new or whatever. Like we could do that. It doesn't really make sense for this, so I'm not going to add it. But you can get really granular here of when these agents are running and working for you or not, right? And then finally, I'm going to just preview here. And this just allows me to pull up a preview. I can select which record I want to see here. We'll go Fred, which is the first one. We're going to run it. And it's just going to pull up the preview in just a second here. The result is English. It cost just a small amount of credits there. And that's up and running there. All right. So this is easy. We'll have this up and running. I can see this. This is not run yet. So I could just go through and manually run this agent to catch this up with the new data there. Okay. Any questions so far?
Just a comment from my side, like the building experience for this agent field is remarkable. Like it's really good. You have lots of control. You have the possibility to execute only when a specific field has data. The testing that you just showcased is really, really well done. If you want to make sure, because the key is really that to make the formula work out, to figure out how you can have very precise results, accurate results every time. And the team at Softr has done a great job there. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's we're one of the few to have it. It's a very new product, but we knew right away that this needed to have granular permissions and control. Because if you're managing thousands of records, which many of us are, and you have agents that are running and costing credits in the background, you need to make sure that it's only running when you want it to run in very specific criteria. And that is possible with Softr databases and Softr agents. So I want to add another thing now. I want to add a field that says, hey, if this customer support message is not English, then translate it for me, right? So another AI agent here, and I'm going to say English translation. And this one, I'm just going to grab, I don't know about you, but I really like GPT-5. Alex, GPT-5, 4.5, where are you going?
It's not a secret that my favors go to Claude for everything.
Yeah.
And
Claude
GPT-5
is
is getting
excellent.
a bit of a backlash. So yeah, I'm having a hard time with it.
So for this prompt, I'm saying if this customer message is not English, then translate it to English. We could say it that way. Maybe this isn't the best prompt. And then I'll just say customer message and add my variable here, customer message. I'll just double check, improve my prompt. If customer message, you know what, that's easy enough. We'll keep that there. Again, we don't need web search here. It's not that fancy. And what we want to happen though is we do want to use another field to really make sure that this is running properly. So I'm going to say condition, and it's going to be language is not English. Now, in this sense, I did make English text, but I could also make it single select. And that single select could be, English, Spanish, Portuguese, etc. And we could have the field type in that way. In this, I'm just doing short text. That's why I typed short text here. But I have that's set up. Now I can save this. All right. So the next thing is let me actually pull in a customer message that is not English. So we could test this, right? So I'll say Alex, and then I'm going to say something along the lines of, we'll grab this and we'll say new
I wouldn't
here.
be able to say that. My Spanish is basic.
Can you read that?
My Portuguese on top of it. See, I'm so bad that I messed up the, the language. Let's
Let's
see.
see.
Yes.
Let's see what this gives me here. I'm not okay. So it
That's
pulled in
Spanish.
Spanish there.
I'm doing it
Uh,
wrong. English. It's not Portuguese. Oh.
no, I told ChatGPT to give me some Spanish. I don't know what it's saying, but I think AI is helping me here. And so
Boom.
what just happened here is it detected Spanish and then it translated it over to English automatically for us, right?
Amazing.
And so this is, I think, a really good use case of just, you know, you don't know what's going to come in. Let's standardize it. Let's translate it. And then the last thing I do want to add here is a customer sentiment score of just how happy is this customer? We want to make our customers happy. And so tracking the sentiment helps us figure out how customer happiness is trending in that way. And so for this, I'm going to do another agent. I'm going to do customer sentiment. And this is going to be a number. And again, I'll just use GTP5. And I'm going to say, on a scale of 0 to 100, 0 being the worst and 100 being the happiest, how happy is or what is the sentiment of this customer's message here? That work? No, it didn't work. Sorry. I tried to get fancy. It didn't work. On a
Wait,
scale of 1 to 100, 1 being the worst and 100 being the best, what is the sentiment of the customer's message here? Customer message and then variable, and then it would be. Now we could choose how we want to pull this in. I think AI is going to be able to read any language, so we don't need to do the English translation. I could just do the customer message there. But I would say that if you're building this in an interface, you probably want to standardize everything for the English translation field, right? So that way you're linking to that field in your interface rather than the customer message, which could come in any language there, right? Just going to double check my prompt here. That looks great. I'll take that. And I'll just do a preview on this. And again, we'll grab our Alex here and we'll run it.
The improve my prompt. I missed that one when I was preparing. It's really good. This is really good.
Yeah, thank you for that. So great customer sentiment score here. Alex really likes our product. We really appreciate that. Alex, thank you
I'm
across the
surprising.
board.
It's really another surprise. He didn't need AI for this.
We didn't, no. And so the sentiments are coming in now, reading all these different things. You can see that there's no English translations for these because we have a conditional filter saying, hey, if it's not English, well, only run if it's not English, right? And all these are English, so it didn't run. And now we have this data that is coming in. We're only filling in these two fields. I mean, we could have AI fill this in as well. So these three fields, and then the rest of these are being filled in automatically. And I mean, you could easily, I'm having a little bit of fun here. Let me just add one more step here, okay? So AI agent, suggested response. How are we going to respond to this customer now that we know that we have this ticket, right? So it's a suggested response. All right. And then again, I'm going to do one more thing here. And so using, you are a customer support agent. Help me respond to this customer ticket. We want to be polite, professional, and respond and as helpful as possible. When responding, use the data that you know about Softr and use these documents use our Softr documents here. Use our Softr documents here for any additional knowledge you need. And I'll say Softr documents, and it'll be docs@softr.io. And then I'll turn on web search for this. So that's going to allow our agent to go and search our docs and then return a suggested response to this customer support ticket in line for us, right? Now, maybe we automate that, maybe we don't. Maybe this is just a helper message to take us like V1 to get a quicker response. It's up to you and how you want to use it. You could also add here of like example writing styles. AI really loves to see examples. Like, what is success to you? If you could define that success to AI, that's really, really helpful. So I like to add like 3 or 4 different examples of like what a good customer response looks like to me, and AI will mimic that writing style. But in this case, we're just going to save this, and then we could start running our suggested responses here. Again, I could add conditional filters, essentially saying like if this status is not new, but like, solved, this won't run, all those kinds of things. So we could start to really get creative and have a lot of fun with the agents here.
Number one question in the chat, we had it 16 times, so maybe you can show that. Do you need to click every time to trigger the prompt, or is there a way to do it automatically and set it up? And if yes, where?
What do you mean?
More like showing the AI autofill. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I forgot to. I didn't. The AI autofill. So you'll see in a second. I forgot to actually do the customer message here. Silly me. Customer message. I didn't have anything to read there. Customer message. That should be better. Okay. So the autofill. The reason why I'm doing this now is because this data is already there, but you have the ability when in here to say when this will run, and it could be when a record is created. This will run automatically going forward, right? So I could show you an example that I can pull in another customer review. Let's see, I have another good Spanish one that I'm gonna pull in here. And this one is gonna be from, let's see, we'll do Rebecca. And then Rebecca, boom. And this is new. And this should start running for us automatically. This one is not running for us at the moment. Let's see what's going on here. Run when a record is created. We'll throw this one on too.
Yeah.
Save that. And let's see. Do we have anything else in here that is filter? Oh, look at this. There was an empty filter there that was getting in our way. So let me actually just, we're going to delete that one and try it again.
And so this means, for those of you watching, this means that once you have tested your prompts with a small data set, eventually you will be able to have this data processing with AI automatically done in the background, which also means, as JJ mentioned earlier, that you only need to think now about what are the data points that I absolutely need from my users. But you're not going to need anything else, because you will use database AI agents to fill or to guess the rest for you, which has implications also when you're going to build your software app. Maybe your forms in the future in software will currently have 10 questions, and maybe you can reduce that to the 2 or 3 questions that you need to figure out who is this user, what is their request, etc.
Yeah, well said there. I'm just looking at this. I think we're just about there.
There's a lot of noise right now. People, we have 3 people raving about the product.
Yeah, it's really fun. It was one of those things that like the form factor for AI agents in databases is just, it makes so much sense. And then we can just do so much with it here. So this is just one of our use cases, but there's a lot of different ways that we can apply this too. Should we move on over to invoice extraction now, Alex?
There was one question in the chat. Can you do it with files? Can you inject files in prompts? And
You can, so if you wanted to inject files, the way to do it is you don't inject them into the prompts. You will add a field that has the file in it, and then you reference that field via
Yeah.
variable. Yeah. So Alex, do you want to explain this one or should I?
Yes, so this is very basic document extraction, and here the use case is we're receiving invoices, and we want to extract the usual suspects. Right? It's always the same. I want to have potentially the invoice ID. I would like to have the date of the invoice, the amount, the merchant name, and then it's really up to you, like what you want to. What else you need to further process the invoice downstream. And so for all of these data points, all you need to do now with the database AI agents is to create one field for each data point and ask the agent to extract that data point for you. So here we're going to add a new file. And we have configured four fields to extract
Okay.
these data points. So how do we
Right.
do it? There's combination of two things. There's the prompt. Maybe we can open the amount
Yep.
as an example. Amount to
Yep.
yeah. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. A bit of context. So you will be analyzing an invoice and extract specific information. Here's the invoice document in PDF format. Then we inject it. I think this was this was missing. So there. So we are referring a file this time, not just text. Your task is to carefully examine the invoice and extract exactly one piece of information, the invoice ID. So here, one thing that's important is to be able to explain clearly. So an amount on an invoice, that's pretty straightforward what we're looking for, but sometimes there are multiple amounts. So depending on the type of information you want to extract, it's not enough just to name the thing. You need also to explain, well, the invoice ID, it's in this format, or here's an example. But here it's enough. You can save.
One thing I did want to add here is
Yep.
we were running this like when a new record was created, but we can't run this unless we actually have the ID, the invoice, right?
Yep.
And so I am going to remove new record is created when I want this to run, and I only want this to run when essentially the invoice file is there, right? And again, I'm going to do this here. Condition invoice file is not empty. So this will only run now when we have an invoice file instead of just a new row being created in that way, right?
That's super. And that's great. Again, this is what I was referring to in terms of building experience. You want to avoid products that have AI features like this that push to consumption. With Softr AI agents, database AI agents, you can control when the prompt is firing up, and you can just define whenever you want to inject this in a prompt and research. So we got the ID for the amount. We do the same. For the company name, the same. Now the date field, we can do the same. And here, what's interesting is that you also be able to control the format. So you will. It's not only a prompt where you're going to say, "Oh, hey, here's the invoice date that I want you to extract," but it's a date field that we are filling, and that's one of the big, I think, advantages of AI agents in software databases is that you have control over how does the destination look like. So here in this case, we tell to extract the date. We could extract as text, but we have the option to select the date field, and you have those additional settings with the time zone, with the date format, etc. So you can really go very, very granular and extract the data in the format that you want.
Yeah, and I think this goes for a lot of our field types. We have a ton of different field types here, and a lot of these field types allow you to have very specific formatting specifically for that field type. So with, currency, same thing could apply. We can go to the settings here and adjust like what kind of formatting we want there. I think currency might not be the best one, but percentages, numbers, all that kind of stuff, you can really get it granular there.
One tip on the invoice extraction, when I was looking at this use case, if you might be tempted to do a currency one, but if you have multiple currencies, then I think that you can only hold one currency and amount in a currency field. And you would
Interesting.
need to combine both. So you would extract on one side, you would have a number field for the amount, and you would have a currency field maybe as text or as a single select, so that you capture, if you have invoices of different amounts, I think you'll have to split there.
Yeah, a couple things here. So in chat, that person that responding to everyone, Archer, he's our CTO. So it's awesome to have him directly in our chat helping you right there. He's a star. Also, one person asked Diana, can you upload via API instead of doing this manually? And 100%, this is an open API that you can use, and you can have these agents running on your triggers, and you configure them accordingly. And so whenever a new row hits or a thing is updated, it will read your conditions and act accordingly. So you could do this at scale. You could do this one by one. It's up to you. As you can see here, all these fields are AI. It's simply just detecting from this file here. It could be resumes. If you're in reviewing resumes and you want to have a resume checker where you just upload a resume, it's going to extract that information. It's going to do the quality. It's going to evaluate them as a candidate. There's so many different use cases that is opened up with the way that these agents are and how flexible they are. That's really exciting. So we have a couple different invoices here. It's pulling those different amounts. We can configure it how we like. That's really cool. Anything last here before we go on to another use case?
Yeah, I had just one. Since the case was is in your workspace, but what I had built and prepared, I had a little bit of a glitch for the when we were preparing the session. So I can only show you the front end, but just to finish on what you were saying there's only one data point that we need. What this means, because software is about building applications, and this is transforming the user experience as well. Because before you could ask users if they had to upload an invoice to provide that information. This is how the form looks like now with AI. That is
You just upload the invoice and everything else is filled.
And
Yeah.
so it doesn't run on my. We have a little bit of issue with my AI credits, and I messed up the workspace. But as I were testing, it literally you upload the invoice, you wait a few seconds, and the data gets filled, and that transforms the user experience of in software apps. And I think this really groundbreaking there. Yeah, I wanted to share that.
Yeah, that's a good call out. I do want to. I'll bring back my screen here. Let me. Where is it? Share. Give me 1 second. I want to show you something else here. So in the software interface, you can see my screen again. Yeah. So in the software interface, we're looking at an inventory management product. And if this is the first time you've seen Softr, it just makes it really easy to build this interface. We have a ton of different blocks. You drag them over or you add them, and then you can connect those blocks to many different data sources. So some of those data sources are Softr databases, but we also have Airtable, Sheets, Zano, Superbase, all these others that you can connect your data to and bring those blocks to life. One other use case that I really like here is we have this feature called Ask AI. And Ask AI, it allows you to add a chatbot that your users can use to ask questions about their users' data, right? And so in this situation, if I were to preview this app, I haven't configured this quite yet, but what happens here is this little button appears and it opens a chatbot, and that chatbot is now reading this data, and your end users can ask it information about its data that it has access to in a very controllable, user-friendly, like they can only see their own data, right? And the cool thing here is with Ask AI database agents, so with the database agents, you can add a lot more data to that user's information. So as Alex was saying, you add an invoice, but we add 5 more fields of data, which also allows Ask AI to help them more with their data, right? Good use cases for this is the customer invoices and all the things that they've been billed. The Ask AI will be able to read all their invoices and be almost like a support agent of hey, why was I billed this or whatever? Or if you have milestones for projects, that your clients will be able to log in and ask more information about the milestones and whatnot. So Ask AI is really helpful in that way. The other use case that I wanted to showcase is some kind of competitor research here. And the competitor research that I had in mind was we have this inventory management database. And right now we have these products, But what if I also wanted to do some research of like, hey, what are my competitors charging for this product? Or what competitors are selling this product? With web search available in these AI agents, it allows these agents to go out and do some research and report back. So why don't we build that use case for us real quick? We see the product name here, right? And we see our current sell price and what we're buying for here. And so I'm just going to add a new field to the right. And this is going to be markets, we'll say market price. It's going to be an AI agent. It's going to be market price. And for this, we're going to have a currency, and we'll make it here, or go up to GDP5 and say, you are a researcher. Help us research. I can't type today. The market okay, for this product, and find the average amount that our competitors are charging. Return, that should be fine. And then you could say, here is the product, and then it'd be product name, and this is what we are selling for. You don't even need to really add this, but I'm giving it more detail there. I'll quickly improve my prompt here. One other side call out here is of course, we have formula fields, and then you can use AI to build those formulas for you. We have also additional ways where you can use AI to build demo data for you, build tables for you. There's AI infused into this whole product, and we're continuing to fuse it into a whole suite of software products. So we have the product name, we have the sell price, etc. And we want to use web search for this. This is very important. We want the latest information about what our competitor is doing, and we want it returned to us here. So let's see if this prompt is going to be good enough. Let's run it. We'll find our panels right here. These are solar panels. Let's run this and see what the average amount is coming back for. Web search takes a little bit longer because it's actually doing live crawling for us. Any chats here while we're waiting for this?
There were questions on the more on features around the calendar as a block to use for hotel, restaurant reservations.
Yep. Sure. Yeah. With a calendar block, we can go right into there and we just pick our calendar block here, and it builds that whole block for us. But then we can get really specific in this block. First, we're going to choose what table we want to showcase here. But then we can show different calendar, like if we want daily, weekly, monthly, we can configure that. And all of this is interactive and responsive out of the gate. And it just makes it really easy to build these interfaces when it's, beautiful and clean, ready to roll. Let's come back here. We didn't have this one. We get a little error here. Let's see. Let's try to run this with a different model here. See what happens.
Let's get Claude.
Let's get Claude on the job. Throw the heavyweight in there. In this.
Question earlier on how to choose the model. How do you pick the model? How I go about it. I don't know about JJ, but for me first, I want to make sure the prompt works. So you want to throw in the heavyweight first. So you put your first model at work. You make the prompt work, and then you try to give it to least a less capable model. Try to save credits. But I would first, you have two variables to make it work. You have the model and you have the prompt. So first of all, take the best model make the prompt work, and then see if it still works with a smaller model.
I like that approach a lot. That makes a lot of sense. So while I'm waiting for the market price to come in, I'm adding another field here of research the market and find which companies are selling this product, and report back their company names. Only list up to 5 companies at a time. And again, I'm going to turn web search on for this. And I only want this to run when, let's see, the product name is not empty. All right. And so this should return like a string of companies that are selling this product. And in this case here, we found a couple ones that are actual true. Maybe because some of this is demo data, maybe this isn't like actual real stuff that are coming in here, or it's not specific enough. But we saw that the market price for this panel came in at about 210, and our sell price is 140. And so we got to raise our prices because we are a little too competitive there. So it's really cool to be able to have that. I could start running this with our competitors, but the idea here is that there's so much different things that we can do with agents and use them in so many different ways because of the tools that we have available here.
The last question in the chat, which is, can you do multi-step agent flow rather than one-step response? And if you think about it, so what the JD has been showing is you have a set of conditions that determine whether the prompt will run or not. And so you could imagine typically in an enrichment flow, if you're looking for information about a person, maybe the first search you're going to search for the LinkedIn profile, because there's a lot of information. And once the LinkedIn profile is found, trigger the other searches to confirm the job title, the company this person works with, and use the LinkedIn profile, that source you found and verified, as the source of truth. So yes, you can sequence calls. It's not going to be all at the same time, just with a set of conditions that JJ has demonstrated.
Yeah. There's another question here in chat of, can the AI generate code here, and then to take that code and to run it as like a code step or like a script? Right now, software databases don't have scripts, but you can, generate code in a specific language that you want based on something else with this AI agent. No problem there. Let me pull to another quick one that I just want to showcase here that I think is pretty cool. So I think this is pretty relevant, finding social handles online, right? And so here's just a quick example. I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to say, hey, find me the LinkedIn URL for myself, right? And that's running automatically. A new record came in. And so this is a very simple one. Help me find the LinkedIn URL for this person, etc. And web search is on, and then it'll go and fetch that URL for us. So if you want to do some kind of lead enrichment there we are. And then as a URL field, it'll just pop right up, and that should be me. As soon as LinkedIn loads, it will be me. And then, is it possible to import data? Cool. So that's me. That worked. So URLs for social handles are working nicely there. Is it possible to import data from Smart Suite to Softr database? So there's a lot of ways to import data. We go up here and say import from CSV, which is what you need to do for Smart Suite. If you want to import from Airtable, this is like magical. This will take your entire Airtable base, import everything, the formulas, the linked fields, the relationships, and keep everything. So it's like a really simple migration from Airtable to Softr databases in this way. And then again, we can generate our databases with AI and other stuff coming soon. You did do the email validation, didn't you, Alex, in the testing for this?
I did not do the email validation. I did not.
Not email validation. You found emails.
Yes. So finding email, but I think validation is a bit different. I use email as an input. But I guess it's should be possible to validate as well.
Let's see. Find the email associated to this person or LinkedIn URL. Let's see if this works. I haven't done this yet, but the person is name, and it's name, and then LinkedIn URL, save. I'm only going to run myself. Just I don't want to expose anyone else's email here. These are some of our Softr partners here. I wasn't able to find it in this sense. Let's see. Did I turn on web search? I didn't. We need that on. So let's try that again. Let's see if it's going to get it now. Anyways, finding emails is hard. Let's see if this runs with web search on now. But I do have one more use case here, if you guys are up for it.
Yeah, I think we're up for it for sure.
Okay. All right. I wasn't able to find my email there. I saw the use case that you did, Alex, and that was working. But maybe I need to adjust my prompt a little bit here or something.
I use email as an input. So what I prepared, and I can showcase now because there are some issues. I use I started from the email, and then from the
Oh,
email,
gotcha.
comparing the first name, the last name, the job title, the company, and so on. For that other case, I do agree that email validation, email verification is maybe one of the trickiest. So if you find a way to get the email in the first place, from there, you should be able to enrich many things. If you don't have the email, this one of the cases where AI search, so there's nothing to do with software, but AI search, web search, like that would be very difficult to have a high reliability on a larger data set.
Yeah.
You can try, but it's not going to be, yeah, 100% successful.
Another use case here, I'm not going to go too deep into this one, but say you had reviews that you wanted to pull in from like G2, Google, etc. You can build agents to web search for those related pages and bring in those pages, those reviews there, standardize them, all that kind of stuff as well. So web search could be used really well there. I have another one here that I prepared, and this is the basic lead enrichment, where we're doing some kind of cold email and a cold sales. We're finding leads, and we want to, based on the company name, fill out kind of all this stuff AI in an AI way: the quality score, the description, the URL, the amount they've raised, the profiles, even cold email outreach. You can build it in a way that could do that. And so, for our example here, let's just throw 9x in there. And it should get to work pretty soon, working on this stuff here. Let's see, what else do we got here? We'll put Netflix in here, and we'll do B2C. Some of this stuff isn't running. Let's see what's going on here. Run when new record is updated. Lead quality scores 80 or higher. Okay, so that was the reason here. And so this is a manual field here, and we only want this to run when the quality score is 80 or higher. And so you can see these aren't running yet. But if I were to go in here and say, hey, this quality score of 85, all these start to run, and we're starting to find those pages, etc. Netflix, we're going to say that's a 100 score. And so just another way for us to make sure that these are only running when it's worth running for, right? And so we're finding these descriptions, the URLs, the amount they've raised, the LinkedIn profiles, etc. So, excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways that you could run this, use this in many different ways. Extraction, summarization, translation, web search, enrichment. And the form factor is really cool here. So I hope this really opened up a lot of ways that you can use your data and make the data, good hygiene, keeping it clean, adding to it, and finding additional ways that you can just add value with the data that you already have. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, DJ. That was good, really good demos. Do people have some ideas or questions on things that you would like to build that you think you could build now with the database agents? Like, this is internal tools on steroids, huh? This is it's
Yeah.
data in a database. You have to think about what kind of, we call this objects in programming also, like what kind of digital objects do I want to manage? You could manage leads, you can manage reviews, you can manage invoices. So start from there. What kind of input do I need in my database, and what else for all the other fields, for all the other data points? Can AI do the heavy lifting for me? This kind to transform your processes. You just drop an invoice, you get all the information. You drop an email, the leads enriched. Like, it truly, it's going to completely change how you run your processes.
Yeah, someone asked if there was any templates. We have very basic templates right now, but we're actually in the process of expanding this and making this much more. And so soon you'll see a lot more templates coming in here that could help you as well. I will say that, if you haven't used Softr in the last year, like, we have really grown significantly. We started as an interface product. Now we're a full stack product. We have databases. We have workflows. It's launching later this month generally, but it's already available in beta. And workflows is very kind of similar to Zapier, where you can create different automations, agents within there. But it also expands Softr as a product a lot as the interface, where with our workflows product, you'll be able to add rules about, bringing the user to this page after, doing this API call and updating the database there and whatnot. And so it's a really beginner-friendly way to build professional software that has trusted infrastructure, security, business rules, making it really easy to build the tool that you need in a safe and controlled way. And there's AI infused into all of it. And so whether you need databases just alone, interfaces alone, workflows alone, or bring it all together, the choice is yours. But for one subscription, you get it all, and you could just use it in many different ways.
Super cool. And yeah, so workflows is not there yet, right? Or it's coming soon?
Workflows is coming in just a couple weeks. The beta is already out for workflows. We have people testing it. The beta is open. You can subscribe to be a part of our beta tester. But yeah, I think we're just 2 weeks away from actually making that thing live to everyone. So it's been a long build and process. We've really made so many strides there. We've built it in an AI first way, and it's really exciting. Yes, this is a relational database. Could we embed this agent into a website as a bot? You would do that in a couple different ways. Software websites interfaces are embeddable. And so maybe you create a bot out of the interfaces that's reading from the software database, and then you can kind of do it that way. It's not really built to be like a chat bot-like way. Only Ask AI has that chatbot-like functionality. So maybe that wouldn't be the best case for it, but you can build tools and embed them in different websites or just use the interface as its own platform or portal itself.
Chris in the chat saying software will kill a lot of startups. The other way around, software will help
A lot of startups. We don't kill anything. We help. We add value. And we're trying. This is a wonderful time to be a builder. There are so many wonderful tools possible. This is another one of them. Find the problem that you're solving, and pick the tool for it. I think this is a fantastic tool, but the chatbot solution, maybe we're not the best tool there. So pick the tool that's best for you as a builder. The cool thing is we have so many options, and there's so many great things available for us to build the tools that we need now.
Noah has a question in the chat.
Yeah, Rebecca is saying she used Softr for a website, client portal, employee portal, an online community. Rebecca is one of our business power users, and we made a case study out of her because she's found so much success. And she was not technical. She was a business owner and wanted to build her own stuff, and then quickly figured it out. And now she's building everything for her company and finding a lot of success there. Thanks for being here, Rebecca. I appreciate your support. Cool. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This will be live on our YouTube channel after the fact. You can find me and Alex everywhere. If you have questions, ask us. LinkedIn, our YouTube channel, whatever. We're here to help you. Appreciate your support and tuning in today.
Amazing. Thanks, AJ. See you soon.
See you guys.
For coming.